Slight said he's heaven sent. Third person omnipotent. Great words, no difference. I don't rap, I make art. Bird need a race car. This ain't for the faint heart. Above clouds like Game Star.
Hey everybody, welcome to the newest installment of the Slightlee Daily Podcast, episode number 29. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, we're there, we're in here. I have this whole couch to myself. I got Conor with me to the right. He hasn't been on in a little bit. He's here.
Yeah, been super busy. Busy.
We got another new setup, more changes. Tell everybody about the story of this chair, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, so I just got a big bonus at work and wanted to splurge, so I went out and bought this new recliner.
Boom. Yeah, we'll run with that. So I guess we'll talk about some topics, but the meat of this podcast is gonna be sort of a.
Did you want me to go into what it does?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Recliner. The headrest moves electronically, and it's got a USB port over here to charge your phone.
Boom. So, yeah, for the majority of this podcast, we're gonna be doing sort of like a movie review / book review. We watched and read Of Mice and Men. It took me way longer to finish it than Conor finished it way before I did. But yes, we both read the book and watched the movie, and we haven't really talked about it much because I was like, save it for the podcast. Yeah, we're going to chat about that, but we will also, we'll get to some other topics and whatnot. So, Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. Hold on, John Steinbeck. This book was written in 1936, I think. It's a pretty old book. What you doing on that?
36?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, man.
37.
Yeah. John Steinbeck was born in 1902. Blah blah blah. He's written a whole lot of books and whatnot. But yeah, we read Of Mice and Men. It's a pretty short book. About 100 pages.
Goodreads gave it a 3.9 out of 5. Common Sense Media gave it a 5 out of 5.
The book?
Yep. It averaged out at a 4.1.
Not too bad. I bet the movie did pretty good too, huh?
Let's see here.
It was a good film.
The movie got Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 97%. IMDb gave it 7.5 out of 10. Common Sense Media with the 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5, wow.
And it averaged out at a 4.3.
Okay, so I guess let's get into the let's get into the book first. Had you read this story before?
I've never read the book. I actually watched the movie first when I was younger.
I'd never seen the movie or read the book until we decided to do this. So you watched the movie first. Do you remember watching it?
Oh yeah, definitely. That dude, it's so sad, and I don't know how to describe it. I mean, it's mostly sad. It's not mostly sad, but it's really sad. So yeah, it definitely kind of scarred me as a kid.
So you like can remember the movie from childhood?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay,
yeah.
So whenever you went later in your life, in your 20s, you went later in your life and you read the book, what kind of was the story? Does the story still hit the same to you? You know what I'm saying?
Dude, they did not diverge from the book at all.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
I noticed that for sure.
It's literally line for line.
Like, yes, literally, even what every character said.
Yeah, it does not change.
Did you so since you had that's impressive actually, because think about, I mean, I can't. I'm
That's
not,
how good he is at writing. Honestly, like
yeah.
he was. You can picture that book in your head, and it's literally a movie. And then they make the movie, and you can. It's literally like, oh yeah, this is exactly what I pictured.
Yeah, that's true. For people, if you've read Of Mice and Men, comment below what you would rate the story as a whole, 1 to 10. But I thought that he did a very good job of describing like the setting, if you understand what I'm saying, like where they were, like the beginning. I literally,
Oh, dude, great detail.
so like, you know, in the beginning couple scenes where they're like sitting by that bank.
Yeah.
That was almost exactly what I was like picturing in my head.
Yeah.
Whenever I saw the movie, you know what I'm saying?
Or when you read the book is what.
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
when you
yeah.
saw the movie,
When
you're
I
like,
saw
wow.
the movie, I was like, "That's okay." I followed that. I was like I was there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I had painted that picture. This, for those who don't know, I mean the movie, the story is about two friends, I guess you would call them.
Yeah, they're two friends.
Basically relatives, but not cousins, but not cousins.
I think they.
It doesn't really
I
tell
wouldn't-
how they meet.
Yeah, well, it does. He knew the guy. He knew Lenny's aunt,
Right.
and she was, I guess, just a nice lady, and she George promised his aunt that he would
You would
look
take
after
care.
him, and they've pretty much been like connected at the hips since then, but it doesn't specify on when they met, like what age.
Right. That's what I was saying. It did say that. It did touch on that. But it wasn't like, George wasn't like, I've known you since we were 5 years old in school.
Yeah.
We were on the schoolyard. You know what I'm saying? But so for those who don't know, it's about two people, George and Lenny. Lenny is special. He's got special needs, I guess is what you would say, and he's back then. Think about the time that this was written in the 30s. You know, that wasn't like very known. People weren't like used to that. You know what I'm saying? People weren't like, people didn't know what to call it.
Yeah,
They didn't know how to treat people with special needs necessarily, and that was pretty cool. I mean, on his part for like telling that story, kind of like showing people, hey, like they can't really help it, you know?
Yeah,
Like Lenny was just struggling the whole movie. Like he wanted to be good, but like ultimately he couldn't help it. You know?
He's just okay. So I'm gonna describe Lenny real quick.
Yeah.
It's this like easily 6'5", and I mean,
Just a beast of a man.
yeah, he's been. You can't being special back then and not having a family with land or having any land. You basically go around and work on other people's land for jobs. So
Like fighting for a dollar.
all this man's been doing is lifting barley bags and
in the hot sun.
so he's super strong, and he's still like a little kid, so he likes soft things.
They
So he pets them too hard and kills them,
Yeah,
basically. Like he
that's-
doesn't know his own strength. Like if he had like a little puppy and the puppy like try to snap at him, like a little kid could like smack the puppy and be all right, but it's Lenny. He's super strong, but he thinks like that kid, and he was gonna just pop him to be like, hey, no, don't bite, and murders the dog.
And it kills him.
Yeah.
I mean, they did a good job of, Steinbeck in the story kind of did a good job of describing him through other characters, you know? Like they even said like George would say, like, you're a baby, you know, like you're a little kid. Because he was a big baby.
Yeah.
Seriously, I'm pretty sure he might have
Like-
even said those exact words.
Yeah, like at the beginning when they were walking, and he was like, I think I lost my work ticket, and
He's
then
like, "No."
and he was like, you think I'd let you keep up with your work ticket?
Yeah.
And then he pulled that mouse out of his pocket.
He's like, what do you
and he was like,
have?"
what do you have? And he was like, like a little kid, he turned around, he was like, I ain't got
No.
nothing.
And
That's
then
just like a little kid.
Uh-huh. But it was a very, I I got really emotional watching a few of the scenes because like, and people still are cruel today toward people with special needs and that kind of, you know, those kind of people. And just seeing how like cruel like the workers were treating him. Not even the workers. It was just the owner, Curly, the owner's son. He was the only one that was being raw, like nasty toward him. Really. Yeah. Everyone else was just kind of like, oh, he's out here busting ass right here he's making us look weak.
Yeah, because there was like these barley bags that it would take 2 grown men to lift, and he's lifting them by himself and doing it
faster.
Yeah, like
2 to
2
1.
of his 2 of his trips were one of theirs, and like even the guys that were just rearranging the bags up on the like a buggy.
A truck, maybe. I think it might have been a truck.
No, man, they didn't have trucks.
No.
I think trucks were rare.
Yeah, maybe it was like, I guess it was. Oh, it was like horse and carriage. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
For
like
sure,
a buggy. And he's like, you got to get him away from me. Like,
I can't keep up.
Yeah. He's just strong.
And I felt for George. I mean, I don't know. You know, did you ever in English class, whenever you had like these kind of like discussions, they would like, you always tuned them out because like you just didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
But, like, do you remember like whenever you were in school and your English teacher would tell you about like moral dilemmas? Mm-hmm. Do you know like what that is, kind of like a moral dilemma?
Yeah, but I mean, if you just want to explain it.
It's like, so a moral dilemma is basically, all right, at the end where he's like, do I kill him or do I
or do
keep
I
letting
run
him live?
Yeah.
Or do I go on the run with him?
And then like we keep doing this cycle over and over
so
again.
So do you think George did the right thing by ultimately, just putting him down, basically, Or do you think George should have just been like, all right, let's just keep running?
All right, so it's definitely going to be one of those like yes and no answers, because if it was now, then no, he did the wrong thing.
Yeah, you
but
can't
back
murder
then,
someone. Yes,
he did the right thing, because they would have lynched him,
tortured
him. He wouldn't have went to like a special needs home or a psych ward.
They didn't
or
have
anything
insane
like that.
asylums.
Yeah, they didn't. None of that. So they would have tortured this man.
Mm-hmm.
So
he put him out of his misery.
And he helped other people.
Yeah, that's for sure. But also at what cost? That's what I'm saying, though. That's the moral dilemma in this. At what cost? Now George might be on one side. He's like, wow, he even said it in the story. Like, if I didn't have you, I'd be doing this and that. And on that one side, now he's able to like do the things that he wanted.
Yeah.
And live freely and independent. But also in the back of his mind, he's like, man, like I took a man's life.
Yeah. That's a man that he'd been traveling with for
like
years.
Someone he's been very close with. Basically a friend, like a best friend,
Yeah.
But yeah, Of Mice and Men, it's a very interesting story. I recommend you go read the book over the movie. Watch both, but I think you should read the book first.
Yeah, definitely read the book first.
Yeah. Well, go watch it. It's cool. It's very interesting. It's a very short book for any kind of reader, to be honest with you. You got these on Amazon, right?
Yeah.
I think
it was like $12 for both of them.
Yeah. Go look. I've read one book in the last probably 2 years. And man, I encourage my viewers, my listeners to go get off your phone every once in a while, get off the TV and read you a book, Go. It's just, it'll make your brain kind of like it'll like slow
It was almost therapeutic, because I don't read.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
But I'm not sure if that's because I had already seen the movie and they stuck to the book so well.
Oh, yeah.
That it was enjoyable. But like, so I read it to Lauren like every night. Like, we'd just go through and I would read it to her because she wanted to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny because in my head I could imagine every scene because I'd already seen it.
That's interesting. You don't really. There's not a whole lot of. Think about this though. There's not a whole lot of films that were made into novels. There are plenty. Actually, no, I take that back. it usually happens like that. You will have plenty of movies that are made into novels,
Yeah.
but usually the novel comes first and then the movie. For like a classic story, you know. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it was the movie came out in what, the 90s? Well, actually they had one that was in the 30s.
Yeah,
Black
they've
and
done
white.
it a few times.
But the one that we watched was the 90s, right?
Yeah, I want to say 99.
Let me look it up.
I have it already pulled up. I just being lazy. It was 92.
Yeah, 1992.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. I can't imagine what life would have been like in the 30s. Literally fucking busting ass for $1 a day, you know?
Was it $1 a day?
I mean,
they got
no,
50 a week.
I don't know, but
imagine getting 50 a week.
Yeah, imagine getting $50 a week, man. That's tough.
And you're not living good at all.
No, but $50. I mean, the old Candy with the one hand, the old dude, he had $350, and that's a fortune back then.
Yeah, you also got to think about like the cost of living wasn't that much. So
True.
50 a week,
Probably pretty solid.
is straight.
It's probably 10 an hour now.
Yeah, something like that.
You know?
Yeah.
10 an hour at 40 hours a week.
I wish I could travel back in time with like just like a smooth 50K.
Oh Lord,
If
you'd be
that.
balling out.
If that. You probably don't even need that. I think there's a calculator for that. Let me Google that real quick. Should I go with 50K?
Sure.
In what year? 30s?
1930, just 1930. If you're listening to this in the audio only version and you are on Spotify, please press that follow button. If you are listening to the audio only version and you are on Apple Podcasts, please press that subscribe button, scroll down to the bottom, leave a 5-star review, and I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. I just reached 400 followers on Instagram. That's a big deal for me. I'm coming up on a whole year of Slightly Daily, April 2nd. I got to do something crazy. Hey, so far I have 4 5-star reviews on Apple Podcast. Shout out to you guys. You guys are awesome. At Slightly Daily on all social media platforms.
All right. This was kind of a hard one to find. Oh, wow. It would be 747,000.
3/4 of a million.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Dude, you be straight.
Yeah, you would be.
Dude, my boss said that like a bunch of people in America, like they believe like you got to have like at least like, you know, $1 million or something, like way up there to, you know, retire and live comfortably. And he told me if your house is paid off and you have no debt, you have no debt, and, you know, a car that you're going to cycle every, you know, 3 years, but you can trade it in and, you know, not pay much more for, you know.
Yeah.
Because, dude, if you only use a car for 3 years, you can get a good amount of money back. Or it would cover a good amount of the car that you're going to get.
Yeah.
He said that $145K would last you your lifetime. Really?
No work?
No, just not working. You got $145K, house paid off. All you're paying for is like utilities and stuff and whatever
food.
else, and food. And
That's interesting.
And super
Modest.
obtainable.
That is obtainable. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Look, man, I said this.
And that's, you know, you can't spend frivolously, like you're just living.
Yeah. I've said this, and you got to keep yourself grounded. Like, yes, there was a point in my life where I was like rapping a lot and stuff, and like, you know, I was like, I'm gonna be a millionaire and stuff. But like, really think about it, bro. Say, say I was making what I do now at my job, but I was doing it. But I was doing this was my job, bro. I'd be so happy. You know what I'm saying? Even with the
Yeah, like
hourly
you don't even want the fame. You don't want to be a millionaire.
That's what I'm saying.
You
I just want to I just want to do what I want.
Yeah.
It's so super simple. Like, I can't put it any more simple than that. And like, say, like what's something you could see yourself just waking up, you know, putting in a 7 to 3, you know, like, cause I could totally see myself, and I would be comfortable with this, waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning or whatever, do editing, doing a podcast, doing a couple, you know, just working on the website for like 6-7 hours a day. I'd be happy. I really would. Do you have anything that you could see yourself kind of like waking up in the morning and being like, oh, this is work. It's definitely work. You know, it's a lot of work, but like you can be like, all right, well, I don't want to blow my brains out.
Honestly, that's a tough one.
I know it is. And I feel blessed that I have something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I recognize that, because it's really hard. Not a whole lot of people have like a passion, you know, for things. Working on cars. You like working on cars?
That's manual labor, though.
It is, but like,
I know but that's not something I love.
What do you love, though? Let's get to the bottom of this.
Man, I don't know.
It's tough, man.
That
I
is
know.
a tough one. I don't,
because like, obviously moving furniture for you now, it's a good living, but it's not your passion.
never.
You know, you're not like, oh my, yes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so jacked and I'm so hyped to go move some couches, but like, you do it. It's alright.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's fine. But
Man,
it's not like it doesn't like give you those butterflies in your stomach. And like, this kind of stuff, it makes me excited to kind of like do this stuff, you know? And like, yes, it's a ton of work. It's not easy per se. It's not easy, but it's fun.
I couldn't.
Like,
tell
you know
dude.
how like,
I feel like that's horrible. That I can't. I don't.
dude, that's okay.
Dude, I don't
You
have
just-
a,
you just
legit. Do not have a passion to do something that could possibly make money.
I feel you. I know what you're
You know?
saying. Well, let's take a step back. Fuck the job title. You know what I'm saying? Fuck like the carpenter, chef. Like, what is something that you just enjoy doing in general? Watching movies? Like something like that.
Yeah, I do like watching. Dude, yeah,
like,
I'm a movie buff.
Think about if you
Could get paid to review movies.
That's like, you
Yeah,
know,
I would do
I'm
that.
kind of just like I'm being like, well, I don't know. I'm just kind of like freestyling it, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, could you see yourself waking up and just being like, I'm gonna watch 2 movies today, and I'm gonna write a couple little movie review art, or, you know, something. Go chat about these 2 movies.
Yeah,
Like,
I could
could you
definitely.
see it?
I could
'Cause
do that.
You're definitely a movie head for sure. Hey man, just something to look into, you know. That'd be cool if on this is just a random idea, but like, say on the YouTube, so the Slightly Daily YouTube, there was like a series of you like reviewing movies, sort of something like this.
I want to know how many people actually watched any of the movies from my must-watch list.
It got a few clicks.
Yeah.
It did. Hold on, let me look it up. It got like maybe 10 or 12 clicks, because it tells me how many people view it. I'm pretty sure Nathan texted me about it. Connor's movie list. Yeah, go check out Connor's movie list. It got 12 views. Pretty solid. Didn't you put Of Mice and Men on here?
I believe
I think
so.
you did. Yep, you did.
Yep, there it is.
92. Yeah, dude. Life is But like you can't
Did I
get.
put Shawshank Redemption on there?
I don't even know. I already closed it out.
You're good.
You probably did. Maybe you did.
So.
But like you know how like Sabrina is like she loves to be a chef, you know, or whatever you would call a female chef. Do they have a?
Nah, it's just a chef.
Chef, okay. Like she
A
wants
chefette.
But like yeah, she wants to be a chef. Like Nathan, he doesn't necessarily have like a. Like he likes to model, I guess, but you know he doesn't. He was pursuing that for a while, but. And I'm sure that I'm speaking on his behalf, but I'm sure that's something he could wake up and do every 5 days a week, put in a work shift, happily.
Yeah, for sure. Nate would, dude. He would eat that up.
And like Devin, for example, Devin would wake up and make beats all day. You know, if he was getting his FedEx check, it's kind of a blessing and a curse being in the U.S. because we have the freedom to where it is a possibility to do what you want, but at the same time though, you kind of got to put in your work. You got to go work for the economy. You know, you got to go move some furniture. I got to go stock TA gas stations. Myleena's got to go give coffee to people in Murfreesboro. Lauren's got to go help landscaping, organize that stuff. Like you got to go put in you got to go be valuable to society for a bit before you get lucky, you know, and something just sticks to where you can be like, all right, I'm about to do my own thing.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like think about Casey Neistat. I mean, I need to do more research, but I'm sure there was a point in his life where he was doing the YouTube shit, but he was having to work a normal job. I'm sure that there was probably 10 years of his life, 3-4 years of his life where he was doing YouTube heavy, but also working heavy too. You know, he's got children and a girlfriend, a wife. Like,
what did he do before this?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I can guarantee you that he was doing a normal job and trying to travel and stuff.
No, I think I heard him talk about it. He was what did he do? Man. He was definitely doing stuff with filming. I remember it being that.
Like movie shit?
Yeah.
That makes sense, honestly.
I think with his brother. But before Conor McGregor was a plumber, a broke plumber.
What? And
Yeah.
now he's just beating bro. Do you know? Let me look this up. Do you know how rich that motherfucker is?
Oh, dumb rich.
Him and Floyd Mayweather. First of all, the fact that they fought. Did you watch that fight?
Yeah.
I'm not a fight fan, but I had to watch that shit, dude.
That was history.
Bro, those two motherfuckers, the fact that he stepped in that ring, that man's got some balls to step in that.
Which one?
Him and Floyd.
Yeah, which one had the balls to step in?
Conor.
Dude, he's a bad...
But he went from MMA, from UFC to boxing.
Yeah, no, dude.
Floyd,
I just wish they had switched.
You're not touching... I don't know, man. I can't see Floyd kicking.
He'd get worked.
He would. Absolutely. Let me look up Conor McGregor's
What
net
makes
worth.
me so mad about Floyd, man, is
Such
he
a
knows
prick.
the point system so well.
Have you ever seen like highlights of him? Bro, you're not touching him, dude. He is quick as fuck.
He knows the point system so well that he doesn't have to just beat the crap out of you. He can play defense the whole time and still win. I was watching this interview and he was like, I was a broke plumber.
That's inspiring.
When I got into fighting, I had to do plumbing and then do that. But then when I got serious into it, I had to quit plumbing, and me and my wife were dead broke. He was like, I was living off of like 1 meal a day, and it was chicken and rice to keep his regimen.
Yeah, because he had to like build his muscles.
Yeah.
Like he had to be healthy.
Yeah, but it was like a slim,
Yeah.
like healthy, and like he didn't live in like a good spot.
Yeah.
And then
He's
he
Irish,
was
right?
like, yeah. And he was his wife was saying like, yeah, he was telling me every day like one of these days is gonna pay off and we're gonna be rich and you'll never have to work.
Dude, that
He was like, we'll be good. And now look at him driving around. Like, dude, he rides a bicycle around his neighborhoods like, I'm the king of this shit.
he is though.
Yeah, he was like, I'll run this.
You think he still lives in Ireland?
Oh no.
You think he lives in like LA
He's
or
in
something?
America.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's in LA.
Definitely got a bunch of houses though.
Dude,
Probably got a spot.
drives
in
around a Ferrari wearing those. Dude, his suits are
on point.
honestly his suits are on point.
Doesn't he got a big ass tiger on his chest?
Yeah,
Like, is it a tiger?
I think so.
Hold on, let me look at. I follow him.
Dude,
on
wouldn't you be
Instagram.
super cocky if you came up out of
Dog.
literally the gutter? He's working in the gutters. He came up out of the gutter.
It's like a panther. No, he's got a tiger on his stomach.
Yeah,
Tiger.
something.
Look at that.
Yeah, dude looks mean.
Jacked, bro. If I saw Conor McGregor, man, I'd want to shake his hand. I wouldn't ask for a picture. I'd just be like, dude, you're a beast. You know? Interesting. Not really interesting. It's sad. But his aunt actually just passed away from coronavirus
What?
today. I saw that on Twitter. Yeah, his aunt. Shit's wild.
That is wild. How old was she?
Couldn't tell you. I'm gonna guess 50s,
Yeah, some older.
60s maybe. I don't know. That's
Dude, remember at the like the little press conference or whatever where Conor McGregor and Mayweather started throwing all that money and he was picking them up and he was like, these are all fucking ones. Where the fucking 20s? He was like, you're a broke bitch. Dude, he's so disrespectful in those press conferences. Who's that guy? I think it was Nick Diaz. And
Nate
Diaz. And he was like, so they were talking about money or something. He was like, Nate, go take a coffee break. And when I say coffee break, go make me a fucking coffee. He was like, Nate's broke. He's just sitting there in like a fucking like Louis Vuitton suit. Didn't Nate beat him though?
He's lost before. I'm not sure. He just beat. He just had a fight the day of my show we had. He had a fight that night. He won. The dude was. I don't pay attention to UFC, but the guy he was fighting, he goes by Cowboy.
Oh
He
yeah.
beat his ass.
Yeah.
And he was like the defending champ or like the champ or some shit, and he beat his ass.
Dude, I love how he's going through like weight classes.
Yeah,
He's
that
not
is
staying
true.
in his own
That
weight
is true.
class.
Did you see that? So I didn't watch this, but I kind of just been looking at pictures and like highlights. But the last UFC fight, like a couple weeks ago, the women's fight. Did you see that one bitch who got her head fucked up,
Mm-mm.
bro?
Oh, it was like deformed.
Bro,
Yes.
She got her head fucked up.
Yeah, I saw that.
I need to look at her name. It's like Joanna or some shit. Yeah, Joanna Jajishker.
Yeah, I think, dude, all UFC, like women UFC fighters, like Russian.
Dude, look.
Dude, that's not good.
Dude, that her brain is swollen. Her brain is swollen.
Is
God,
it, like,
I mean,
legit?
I don't know, but dude, look at that. She got fucked up.
Dude, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
No, this is what she looked like before.
Yeah, dude. Apparently, they were saying that was like one of the best fights like they've ever seen. Type shit.
Hold on. I'm trying to see what she looked like before. This is what she looked like before.
Yes.
And then,
I don't know who she fought, but
dude, she was pretty.
yeah.
But who
Joanna
fought her?
Jersdishkirk.
And then there's this.
Yes. Ruined her. She fought Welly Zhang.
Yeah, here we go. Here's a side by side.
Yes, bro. She fought Welly Zhang. Welly Zhang was 21-1, and Joanna was 16-4, and Welly Zhang won in 5 rounds. They just were like, cut that shit out.
Dude, that is
Fucked her up.
wild.
Asian girl from China.
Put them fucking
A Chinese girl did
put
that
them
to
paws on her.
her. And them shins and them knees probably. That's the thing about UFC, dude. You get a shin to the... Joe Rogan was... You know how he's like a fight guy?
Yeah.
He's like the announcer for UFC
Yeah.
and shit. But I was listening to his podcast, and he was like just talking about... He always talks about martial arts and shit, but he was talking about... He's like, you have no idea how bad it hurts to get a shin to your arm. He was like, it's the worst pain. Like, shin to, like, just, like, that muscle, like, your bicep, your tricep, just makes your whole shit go numb. And just imagine that, like, you're, like, fighting, and you get a shin to the arm, and then your arm goes numb, and then you have no way to defend yourself, then you're fucked, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that side of your body can't do nothing, and then you get a couple of those, and then you're knocked the fuck out. Fighting is crazy, dude. Like, professional fighting.
Yeah.
Especially.
You remember when Kimbo Slice tried to get into UFC?
Got his ass whooped?
Dude, like 6 seconds.
Yeah, he got knocked out. Didn't
Yeah,
he?
by like a nobody.
Hey, but he was knocking motherfuckers out in the streets.
Dude, I watched him break this dude's eye socket. Like his eye popped out of his face.
Well, they were using no padding.
Oh, it was just backyard fights.
They were just, all right, let's fuck each other up.
Yeah.
He died.
I know.
That's wild. What did he die? How did he die?
I think it was heart problems.
That's crazy. Couldn't have been past 30. Couldn't have been
Dude,
in his
I mean,
40s.
imagine he made a living fighting, like backyard fighting, to where there's no like, you don't have a trainer to calm you down. Like,
No.
that's if you're all the time
Stressful.
stressed, like that does some stuff to your. You probably had high blood pressure. It's a silent killer.
Yeah, dude. You know, heart disease is actually the #1 killer in the U.S. Like high blood pressure and heart attacks, and
I could see it. I went
stroke.
to the doctor the other day, and she scared me.
They said you had high blood pressure.
No, she put that little thing on my wrist, and like, I watched it, and it was in the yellow, and she was like, "That's kind of high."
What is that?
It was to test your blood pressure.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, and then she kind of shrugged it off, and I was like, "Whoa, isn't that? Do I need to look into this?" And she was like, "No, usually when people come in, like,
Yeah,
they're
you
kind
get
of
a little
nervous and stuff. We can do it when you leave if you want." But I mean, I legit was nervous already,
Yeah.
so I hate the doctor.
Every time I go to the doctor, they say I have high blood pressure. My dad and my grandfather have a history of high blood pressure. Yeah.
Better get that checked out, man.
I have anxiety too, so that has a lot to do with it. To be honest, that's what fuels it. Yeah, my dad and they always ask, like, does anybody in your family have high blood pressure or something? I'm just like, yes. My grandma had a heart attack a few years ago. She lived, but a lot of that had to do with her lifestyle, her diet. She stopped smoking cigarettes, and that will fuck you up. Like, cigarettes, hey people, you smoke cigarettes for 40 years, a pack a day, it's gonna fuck with you. Not just your lungs. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna mess with all your organs in some way. It's like a chain reaction.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't smoke.
It's crazy that in like back in the day, like the 50s and shit. Did you ever hear about that? Like, doctors smoke Camels. Have you ever heard of those? Were actual commercials, bro.
Yeah.
Doctors smoke Camels. Are you kidding me? Doctors are smoking, like, you're taking your little kid to the doctor, and he's, hold on now, ashing a cigarette. He's like, hold on, let me ash this cigarette.
Yeah, my dad said that when he used to go to the doctor,
That's
the doctor would be
crazy.
smoking cigarettes.
That's crazy. And Like, you remember at like Toots or Camino, smoking or non-smoking?
Yeah, or Ryan's.
Do you remember that, dude?
Yeah,
I'm
and-
glad that we can, like, we were young. I know we
Yeah.
were, but we can still remember that shit. Like, I do. And
Yeah. Have you ever seen that movie with? This is not. It's not gonna narrow it down much. It's got Will Ferrell in it, and they're car salesmen. They're traveling car salesmen.
I can look it up. What happened in it?
So they were taking a flight, and it's supposed to be a comedy. It is a comedy. They were on a flight.
The Goods?
Yes, The Goods.
Okay, I'd never
And
seen it.
he
but-
sparks a cigarette on the plane, and the flight attendant was like, "Sir, you can't smoke on this flight." And he's like, "What does this country come to?" And he's like, "You see this right here?"
What time did this come? Like, what movie was, like, what year was this movie supposed to be in?
Oh, like, I mean, I think
Like
like
back in-
08,
Okay.
something like
Sorry.
that.
So
modern,
okay.
no smoking on flights.
Right.
And he was like, "You see this right here?" And it was like a little sealed off box. And he's like, "That used to be an ashtray." And then he went on this whole spiel about like how like
This
it
country's
starts with
changed.
this, and then and then they just started partying on the plane, like,
That's funny.
because they're supposed to be like really good salesmen.
That's funny. Dude. Wolf of Wall Street, we that vlog we were watching before, that just made me think about how fucking great that movie is. Like, there's not a whole lot of movies that you can just watch more than once or twice. There's
Yeah.
some movies that are like really good movies, but you're like, all right, I watched it once and I don't plan on watching it again. Like, I've seen Wolf of Wall Street 4 or 5 times in my
I've seen
life,
it
probably
than that.
more. And it's still
You really need to get into The Sopranos, man.
yeah.
It's so good.
How many seasons are there?
6,
And how many episodes? Like 20?
13,
How long are they?
like an hour 20.
One episode
Yeah,
is an hour and is a whole movie?
yeah,
Holy shit, bro.
they're really good.
I mean, it sounds like it. And this came out in like the 90s.
I think 99. The
What a
first
time.
season, 99.
Dude, Nathan from work,
The intro of The Sopranos still shows the Twin Towers.
wow. I want to go to Ground Zero. I want to check that out. My sister went to New York last year and she went there and like saw like the monument or whatever. I'm pretty sure she did. Terrorism. Think about that, man. Almost 3,000 people, Americans, were just murdered. Oh, but like I was saying, it's kind of weird you brought up the Twin Towers because I was about to say something about kind of like 9/11. But Nathan from work, he
Yeah.
so you know how he's like mid-30s?
Yeah.
He was like in his 20s or whatever when 9/11 was happening, and like he was telling me like he's sort of, I guess I wouldn't call him a conspiracy theorist because he's kind of not, but like there's some things he's anti-government. He calls himself an anarchist. You know what I'm saying? Like he's literally like fuck all government. And he was telling me that it used to be so taboo to like talk ill of the government back in the early 2000s. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was on that wave like then, and like people were like, dude, shut up. Like, you know what I'm saying? And now he's like, I told you, like now everyone's like woke. And he's like, I've been trying to tell you motherfuckers, like, and like in specific, he was telling me about how like he found out about that third building that fell. You know I'm talking about, building number 7. Alright, so in 9/11 there was the Twin Towers that fell, and then there was a building next to it that just collapsed. And no one covered it in the news. Look it up, man. It's fucking eerie, but they don't talk about it. And he was like, back then was like, hey guys, I think some shady shit's happening. This building fell. Like, it's fact. There's video. And like people back then were like, shut up, like be quiet, man. And now like it's so like in to be like, wait, hold on, maybe they are lying, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
some stuff like that. It's just interesting how the times have changed.
There's a bunch of weird stuff about 9/11.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I watched this like new like this it was like a video. Like I guess someone was taking it, and there was just a random guy there, and he was like spouting off a bunch of facts about the building, and he's like, there just so happened to be a guy that's not panicked at all, just giving y'all facts about why this is doing this, like in the crowd there, like
Yeah.
like he wasn't panicking, like he was just, oh yeah, well this is what's gonna happen, and like what?
Mm-hmm.
And there's like firefighters that were like doing interviews, and they were like, we just started hearing explosions, like boom, boom, boom. Like what could have that? What?
Yeah, how?
What would have made an explosion sound?
Right. It's an interesting fact about Osama bin Laden. Well, for one, he used to work in the CIA in the 80s. All right, this is a trip. Fact check me, but I'm 98% sure that this is fact. Apparently, he was at the grassy knoll when JFK was shot. He was there in the crowd.
Bro, shut up. No way.
I swear. Like, he was an attendant as a child there in Dallas when JFK got shot.
Did you know there was 2 shots?
Well, the magic bullet. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, where it went through him
And then like
through the seat,
and like yeah,
through the seat and hit the guy in front of him.
in like the leg or the arm or some shit.
Popped him like in
Yeah,
the throat.
yeah. There was 2 shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got hit in the neck and then the brain.
Yeah, but that went through his neck and then hit the guy in front of him.
Yeah, and then he got hit in the head.
Yeah. You know how precise of a shooter you had to be? I don't even think they had guns like that back then, to where they could just boom, boom, like. And what regular guy shoots at him, knows he hits him, and he's like, oh, that wasn't a kill shot.
Let me get him again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a weird one.
We watched a TV series. What was it? I think it was called like 1954 or whatever, 1964. It had.
And if y'all don't hear from us again, it's because the government didn't like what we were talking about.
Yeah, well, they can suck a dick. But it had James Franco in it, and it was a Stephen King novel. Okay, let me look up the title of it. But he goes back in time to kill Lee Harvey Oswald, so he doesn't assassinate JFK. And spoiler, he does it, and he comes back to present time, and it's like post-apocalyptic because like JFK like did some stuff and then like fucked the world, like screwed the world up basically. But like they were saying that if JFK wouldn't have died, then Vietnam wouldn't have happened, and then this and that. Like that was what the mission was. You know what I'm saying? And like he ended up killing Lee Harvey Oswald. JFK lived, and then like something way worse happened. It was a cool story. Let me look up the title of it. I can't even think of what it was called.
Can't mess with time.
Yeah, it was called The Day He Died, 11/22/63. That's what it was called. It was a Stephen King novel, and they made it.
Who's in it?
James Franco. He's the main character. It's a Hulu original.
Oh, I'm gonna go watch it.
Yeah, there's only 8 episodes, but they're pretty long. It's pretty cool. It's a cool little period piece.
Can't mess with time.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. It was like, you can't.
I will mess with time.
All right, man. You got anything else you want to say?
I do not. I'm thirsty. My this died. I'm trying to go to the store.
I'm gonna try and do another one later tonight.
600 hours.
Thank you guys for watching, listening. This is episode 29. I'm gonna try and do episode 30 in like an hour or two. Thank you guys for tuning in. At 100 subs on YouTube, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. So subscribe if you haven't. I'm 10 subscribers away, so get prepared for that.
The giveaway
Yeah.
value, the value of the items in the giveaway is $1.5 million. So
Yeah, damn near.
tune in. I may be off by a couple $100, but
Tap in. To say the least, tap in.
1.5 million. And that also brings us to our ad read. No, I'm not going to do it.
One day, we will have plenty of ad reads. We're going to make this shit a job one day, a side hustle.
I'm going to have a full podcast of just ad reads.
That'd be awesome. All right, Conor, send them off, man. Send it off. Close it off for us.
Yeah, this was... which episode is this?
29.
So, this was episode 29 of the Slightly Daily Podcast. You can catch us on all streaming services, Spotify, Hulu, Apple Music, all that.
Hulu.
Yes.
One day. Thank you guys for watching.